Adventure racing teams comprise 4 members and must contain at least 1 male and 1 female. They must race as a team, no more than 100 meters apart at any time. If one team member drops out of the race, the whole team is out. Like other multisports, adventure races feature multiple disciplines, such as mountain biking, kayaking, climbing, and trekking, many hundreds of kilometers across varying environments. This is roughly the distance between Madrid and Lisbon. Being a global series, race courses take advantage of local culture, immersing teams in traditional experiences. There's no marked route, but they must navigate to checkpoints dispersed 20 to 50 kilometers apart. The route they take is solely dependent on their navigational skills. GPS devices are not allowed, and they get their maps just 24 hours before the race starts. Teams race non-stop throughout the night, resulting in just 2 to 3 hours of sleep, often right on the ground. In 1989, a Frenchman wanted to create the greatest endurance sport on the planet and deliver a racing experience reminiscent in the era of global exploration. He created the Raid Gauloise, which is considered to be the first modern adventure race. It was such an exciting concept that other large adventure races, or expedition races as they're sometimes known, evolved notably. The Eco Challenge and the AR World Championship. Over the years, adventure races of every length, organization, and type have sprung up all around the world. In 2001, the top adventure race events from around the world joined together to form the Adventure Racing World Series. Teams could qualify at one of the global events and attend the annual Adventure Racing World Championship, which continues to this day. Adventure racing is one of the few sports where novice teams can compete on the same course with professional teams, because adventure racing is primarily getting across the finish line if possible. There are typically 3 disciplines, or modes of travel, throughout a race. Each discipline undertaken is called a leg of the race. Paddling, which can look like this, or this. Mountain biking, which could be in a cave. Trekking can be up here, down here, or like this. Well, that's hike a bike. The course director creates a new course for every race and searches out unique and compelling challenges for the teams. There is no limit to the number of legs in each race, their distances, or the order they're planned. At the end of each leg, teams enter a transition area where they resupply food, equipment, and prepare for the next leg. Equipment and food available for resupply comes from a box the team pre-packed before the start of the race, which was moved to the transition by the race organization. There is no outside help, so if you didn't pack what you need, then you must do without. Transition areas are still on the clock, so how long a team stays in transition is up to them. There are often unique disciplines along the adventure racing course. Some are the only way to get to the next checkpoint. Others may reflect the local culture and environment. Adventure racing can sometimes be so tough that only a few premier teams finish the full course as it was initially designed. However, in the spirit of adventure, race directors will reroute teams on a shortened course so they can reach the finish line before the final cutoff time. These short course teams are still racing and are ranked accordingly behind the full course finishers. Completion of an adventure race, full course or short, is often the main goal of teams and remarked upon as a pinnacle moment in one's life. This is a race through diverse environments, cultures, and often weather, which never stops a race. Adventure racing teams are prepared to be hot, cold, and endure whatever is thrown at them. Movement toward the finish line is relentless. Athletes have varied roles within their teams. A navigator, a captain, and a PACKHORSE are but a few. The navigator, or nav, must be proficient at using a map and compass in the backcountry, moving their team from checkpoint to checkpoint, using skills and best judgment to determine the route, creating a race with many possible routes. A good navigating team can pass a fit team going in circles. The captain is the master of a team's strategy. They must balance the team's strengths and weaknesses against the challenges of the course and other teams. Often, they will set the team's pace, when and where to expend effort, and when to rest or sleep. Then there's the PACKHORSE. Over many days of racing, everyone on the team is going to have a bad day. They might dehydrate, get sick, have low morale, or be injured. Each team usually has a physically stronger teammate that can carry multiple backpacks or tow a teammate to keep them going. The pack horse, or the mule, is the strongest teammate who can do twice the work for the team. And this is not always a man. Adventure racing has developed its own language and race techniques. On tow is when one team member pulls a slower teammate along using a tow rope, be it the bike or the trek. As a team must stay together throughout, this is smart racing and brings the average speed of a team up. Teams create special towing systems that they can implement without even stopping. Sleep monsters describe the dark hand of sleep that begins to cloud your judgment and slow you down. Often, this sleep deprivation causes hallucinations in athletes. When to sleep and for how long are critical decisions a team must make, and there are many varied strategies. A dark zone is the only time race progress is halted. This is implemented by the race director when a section is just too dangerous to be negotiated at night. Often, this is a whitewater paddling leg. The race clock doesn't stop for teams having to wait for the dark zone to lift. Their only consolation is some additional sleep they may get while they're waiting. Dot watchers are avid online fans of adventure racing. Teams carry a tracking device that beams their location to a website where each team is displayed on a map with a dot, hence the term dot watcher. Some teams turn a passion for adventure into a lifestyle of adventure racing. Novice teams will travel the world choosing adventure races in exotic locations, partly for adventure race, partly for exploration. Premier teams will compete professionally or semi-professionally on the Adventure Racing World Series circuit. They're able to earn a world ranking and compete for the title of Adventure Racing World Champion. Adventure racing is a strategic endurance sport that pits an individual against themselves, other teams, and the unforgiving environment. This creates a race experience that every adventure racer will tell you is addictive. It is the ultimate race of human endurance.